Hi, East Valley Bible Church. This is Matt Moore. I'm one of the leaders here at East Valley, and I just want to give you an update on what we had talked about on November 13th at church. We had talked about moving into a new location. We've been praying about this, we've been fasting about this for quite some time, and we finally have some really good news that we want to share with you, and then also how you can be involved. And so, as we presented this, it was not just me, it was me and the rest of the building search committee. It was Drew, Cindy, and Emery, but you just get to hear from me today. So here's kind of the breakdown of what we talked about on Sunday. I just want to iterate, just tell you right at the beginning and for the forefront, if you've got questions about this, if you want to know more about this, please reach out. This is just kind of an overview of what was talked about, and we want to keep you in the loop of what's taking place. So I'm going to show you some pictures here. We're going to see how all this comes together, and I want to show you what we found. So as a building search committee, we found a location, and it's not very far away from our current spot. In fact, it's just down the street. It's called Sunset Office Plaza, and it's at a beautiful location. It's being completely redone. There are currently no tenants in there right now. We would be the first people possibly in there if we would decide to move forward on this. But we want to get your input, we want to get your wisdom, and we also want you to be on board with what's going on. In that bottom right corner, you see that there is a circle around the building because it's really just about a quarter of a mile, less than a quarter of a mile down the street from where we currently are. On top of that, it's just in a beautiful location. It's on the south side of the street on Sunset Road. The unit that we will be looking at is on the upstairs level, and so they do have an elevator. It's something that we would be able to make sure is operating and is fully functional, because we want to make sure that everyone has access to being a part of what's happening on Sundays and throughout the week. But again, it's newly remodeled. In that top picture, it even gives some of the context of what it's right around on the right side. It's Sunset Park. We're basically right up against Sunset Park on our south side. Some of the features of the inside that makes it really appealing to us is a lot of things, but one of the things is just the space. Right now we have a space that has 1,700 square feet. This new location has almost 2,000 square feet more than that. There's about 3,700 square feet in this location. It could fit 150 chairs compared to our 55 chairs in the current space we're in. It has a place where we could put a kitchenette. It has space for closet space, which is amazing because we can put our junk that's hidden away in the corners right now, not so hidden away in the corners right now. We can put that out of sight. It has 3 bathrooms compared to 1. It has 4 classrooms, so it's already ready to go for Sunday morning, for youth group during the week, and for the extra things that we're looking to do as well, whether it's the homeschool group that's using it throughout the week, or whether it's other events or other things that we want to see happen. It's already set up really well for what we want to be using it for. And so there's so many benefits, there's so many good things to this. And so we want to introduce you to this building, but we also want you to understand kind of what we're looking at with this, because really with this building, what it is it's a lot more than what we have right now. And to be honest with you, we're not going to be able to afford it if we just say, yeah, let's just go and do it. Currently, we have about $40,000 in the bank account right now, and we're paying about $2,000 a month for the space that we're in. But what we wind up having to be paying for this new location is about $5,600, which again is just like a big number compared to what we're paying now. But there's so many things that go into this that we tried to explain really well on November 13th. But one of the things being is that we're in a position where we can offer to this owner, and he has been really flexible with us and listening to what we have had to say and our mission and what we're trying to do with this location. He's been completely on board, and he said, just make an offer and we'll have a conversation about it. So what we're looking at doing is making an offer that our church, our whole group can get behind and say, this is what we are willing to, and this is what we can fiscally and financially do. So that's kind of where it comes in with you guys and with myself, is like, how are we going to commit to this? So to kind of just break down what we talked about on Sunday, really our rent being currently $2,000 a month, asking price being $5,600 a month, there's a gap in there that we're going to have to look at and say, how close can we get to that, or how much can we offer reasonably with where we're at right now. So what I want you to do is, before we make an offer, before we go to the owner and say, this is what we can afford, we want to ask you to pray, and we want to ask you if you'd be willing to commit to being a part of this venture with us. And so here's what we've asked people and asked our group to really consider doing. We want you to consider looking at it through three lenses. The first lens is, would you commit financially to being a part of getting into this new building? Would you commit with hands-on equity, sweat equity? And would you commit to praying with us for this building? We believe that all three of those things are vitally important. We believe that they're so important to what is going to happen here, because this is not going to be just a one-man show. This is not going to be a decision that just one of us makes, but we are going to have to make this decision together. And so on our website currently right now, we have a pledge form that we've created, and it's at eastvalley-biblechurch.com. And if you're a part of our church, or if you're interested in being a part of our church, and you say, hey, this is something that I'm interested in, I would encourage you to just go to our website and look at that. We have a picture of that. Let me pull that up real quick. And this is what it will look like. And what it has is the information that I've just given you, but it's also given a little bit more information. And at the bottom of that, it's going to ask you three questions. It's going to ask you, first of all, if you want to put your name, you can. If you want to do this anonymously, you can do that as well. But the first question that we're going to ask you is, would you be willing to, above and beyond what your normal giving, your regular giving is at East Valley Bible Church, would you be willing for 1 year to commit to giving financially towards this new building? And what we're going to wind up doing with that is, we're going to say, with the amount that we do in total up together at the end of this week, and by November 20th, we're going to say, here's what we feel like we can afford, here's what we feel like we can offer, and we're going to present that to the owner and the real estate agent and just go from there. The second thing that we want you to consider is, would you be willing to commit time and energy into just putting in manpower to making this happen? If we offer something and they say, yeah, we'll accept that offer, we're going to have to put in time to be able to actually use this building. Cindy and Scotty Stevens have a background in contractor work, and we're really grateful for that. But it's also going to take all of us. So would you be willing to put in kind of the sweat equity of getting us into that new building? And then the third option of commitment is, would you commit to praying? And would you really commit, not just I'll pray for it every once in a while, but I'm going to take time throughout the week and really record that time of, I'm going to pray, and I'm going to make sure that that is a priority for us, because we believe that in the end, this is just a tool. That the building is not what makes the church. The building is not what makes us impactful. It's that we want to follow what God is doing and what God is leading us to do. And so the question that we then have for you is, then, would you be willing to commit to one of these things by November 20th? Because what we see is that this is an opportunity that's laid out in front of us. We want to get your responses by November 20th. And then at the end of that day, we're going to send that back out to you to let you know, here's what we're thinking of offering, and give you about 24 hours that Monday, next Monday, to respond to that. And then on the 22nd, what we will do is we'll send that offer off to the owner, as long as we're all unified and all together in this. We don't want to move forward without you. This is just as much your church as it is my church. And so we value what you have to say. We value your opinion. Again, this was a lot of information, and we talked a long time about this on November 13th, but we at least wanted to get you into the loop if you missed on Sunday, or if you just like, hey, I'm out of state and I'm a long ways away, but I'm curious about what East Valley is doing. Right now, we're looking at this new building and saying, this could be the next step for East Valley Bible Church. And we really want to seek God's face. We want to seek God's leading and his wisdom, and we want to follow him. We want to obey him. So our desire is by the 20th to have your responses in. So go to eastvalley-biblechurch.com, click on that new building tab, and it will bring you right to there. And you can fill that out, and that will be a complete anonymous thing. The only person that will see that will be me. So it's not going to be spread around the church. It's just, we're trying to do this as discreetly as wisely and as unified as we possibly can. So again, if you've got questions, I've got my email. I want to just put this up here really quick so that you can see my email, because again, we want to make ourselves accessible as possible. It's not up there, but I'll just go ahead and say it, and then you can email me if you want. But my email is matt@eastvalley-biblechurch.com, and please email me with your questions or concerns. Thanks.